Well, hello, everyone. We are here today with Jonathan Aguirre, who is a standout young actor for Good Company Players over the years. Now, Jonathan, I'm trying to remember when I first saw you in a show, and we were talking beforehand, and we think it's Oliver. Is that the case?
Yes, Oliver.
And how old were you in Oliver, and what role did you play?
I was 11 in Oliver, and I was one of the ensemblemen. So I was one of the kids who was in, the with Oliver and the sticks and stuff.
Okay, you have been in a lot of main stage shows, both for Roger Rocca's and at Second Space Theater, but you've also been a very proud member of the junior company. What's the mission of the juniors?
So the Junior Company is a phenomenal program that Good Company Players puts on and is funded by the Junior Company Foundation. Um, and basically, they teach young actors, discipline, responsibility, the importance of knowing your stuff. Um, Honestly, it's a great life skills class. It teaches you to always think ahead, plan ahead, work hard, do everything to perfection, and do it always to your best. And it was amazing learning from Lori and Dan and all my other juniors directors. It was phenomenal lessons. I'll never forget the first day I was in juniors. I'm a very hyper young child. So it was very interesting. I had to learn discipline. I had to stand still, but I was also allowed to let my hyperactiveness out. Um, Directors would love because I'm a handful, but I'm also I grow on people.
Okay, so they have very high expectations. They hold you to very high professional standards.
Yes, it's phenomenal. I've learned more at juniors than I've learned anywhere else. I went to JOROTC at my school, and they were like, all this and this, and I was like, I learned all that at juniors, sir.
Usually, in normal times, at about this time during the summer, there would be a live cabaret performance. I've gone many times before. Um, it's at Roger Rocca's, it's a fancy dinner. Of course, we can't do that this year. So tell us about your virtual cabaret this Friday.
Yes, so it's a Frankenstein baby a little bit. So we were trying to decide what we were gonna do, because we couldn't do the gala, and we didn't want to leave the audience with nothing. And so we started thinking, and we came up with this virtual cabaret Friday Night Live. And so the basic idea is just to show that we're still here and that uh, there's still creativity and still performing arts going around our community, and just to showcase these brilliant young actors and our special guests, and let us give back to the community a little bit. That's helped us so much.
You're a host, and your co-host is
Yes, my co-host is Tony Fulmer. He was also a junior company member.
who's another well-known name who's graduated out of the juniors. What are you gonna? What's the structure of the show? Where are you and Tony gonna be?
So me and Tony are performing in host segments. So you'll see us at the beginning and the end, and a few little clips in the middle. We have some fun games and challenges for you to watch. One of the premiered or displayed challenge is the hot pepper challenge. So me and Tony put ourselves through a little bit of anguish, just to bring a little bit of laughs.
So
Yeah.
then you're going to intersperse that with performances from current juniors. Is that the case?
Yes, current and former. So
Oh,
anyone
okay.
who is in the junior company and has since graduated, or is out, with day-to-day life, they can come back and perform for us.
Tell us about the alums that you have coming back and performing in the cabaret.
So we have alums, Kimmy, we have Emily, and then we have Colby, and we also have a special guest Miranda Mayo, who is also an alumni from the junior company, who's coming back and performing with us.
And she's actually bringing a couple friends. And Miranda is a really big deal. We should tell people about that, right? So she stars in a network TV series, Chicago Fire, and she's also a very accomplished singer and singer-songwriter. So do you know what she's doing for you? What can we look forward to?
Yes, she is singing a song. It's a song from her childhood that she loved to sing. Um, I've watched the video. It's beautiful.
So that's something she pre-recorded for you.
Yes.
And she also is kind of like bringing along a couple of friends. So tell us about that.
Yeah, she's bringing along her friends, Alex Kinsey, who was the winner of the 2013 X Factor, and also her other friend, Apollo Mighty, who was an R&B solo artist.
Okay.
And he was, in Chicago, in the TV show Chicago Live.
Okay. And how many acts are we talking about? How long do you expect this evening to go?
It's gonna be about an hour and 12 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's we have kind of like an act one and an act two, split up via host segments.
Now, one of the things that I've always noticed about you, because I notice I watch every junior, I watch you guys grow up, is you seem to be really loving what you do, and you always like bring a really strong presence to the stage. Is there a role in particular that like you would love to play again, or that was your favorite?
I think one of my favorite roles, I have two that I really, really liked. I really liked playing Skip Carson in It's a Wonderful Life, the radio play. It was just amazing, because you were allowed to be yourself. We were allowed to go out before the performance and talk to people. It was really interactive, and I got to use different voices and pretend to be different people. It was loads of fun. And then A Christmas Story. It was an amazing role. I got to work with Dan Pisano. He is a really funny guy. He can be intense at sometimes, but he is great. I loved working with him and Lori Pisano. And in that role, I just felt, I could portray it truly. I could sympathize with the character and just, tell the story to the audience.
So have you ever put your tongue on a frozen pole? Have you ever tried that in real life?
Not a pole, but a soda can. And there was an ice cold, I had found a can of Coca-Cola in the fridge, frozen, ice solid. And I took it and I was like, I guess I could try it. Yes, it stuck. I was stuck with a soda can on my tongue for a good solid 10 minutes.
So that's like some method acting there, right?
Yes.
Would you rather be late for curfew and get in trouble with your dad, or be late to rehearsal and get in trouble from Dan Pisano?
Dan.
You'd rather get in trouble from Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been on stage and inadvertently glanced and maybe locked eyes with somebody you knew in the audience and started to laugh?
Yes, that has happened before. One time my mom got right in front center. I don't know how. She was not supposed to see it that night. It was A Christmas Story and I was the main character. She was right there in table one, front seat. I turned, looked, and I was like, there was like an earthquake all of a sudden in my brain. I was like, why are you there?
One thing that I've always been curious about is sometimes when a junior goes from the pre-show then to playing a role in the main stage show, you jump from like sort of being a kid to where you're actually playing an adult. Was that weird for you the first time you did it? And what is it like to like act like an adult?
It's very interesting. I remember in It's a Wonderful Life, the radio play, I had to play an old man. That was the voice I had to do, and it's very interesting to watch people. You walk up to the mic, and they're not expecting you to. They're expecting a child's voice, or at least a young man's voice, and then you come out with a "Oh, Sonny," like a very old person voice, and there's just a making sure their eyes aren't deceiving them. So
Right.
it's great fun for me. I like to play a lot of different people, and it's never really a jump for me per se. I like to play all sorts of different people.
And sometimes they'll throw a junior in with real adults, like, because like when you were in the ensemble for Something Rotten, you were acting alongside guys who were maybe 5 or 10 years older than you.
Yeah,
Do
it
you think
was
that makes you kind of like grow up faster, or what is that like?
no, because I think everyone's got a goofy side to them, and backstage it's serious backstage, but once you get upstairs and you're talking with everyone, age is no longer a gap.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about the theater, isn't it? I mean, people are not as almost segregated in terms of their age, so you get to
Yeah.
know people who are a lot of different ages. How do you think your life would have been different if it wasn't for the junior company?
I really don't know. Um, when I think about all the time I spent there and all the time I didn't do things, I couldn't have, there wasn't a better way for me to spend my time. I learned a ton of things. I met a lot of people who are still my friends today. And, I wouldn't have known what to do with myself with all that time. Um, and, because of my ADHD, it was really hard, at school because I always had to move around, and teachers got angry with me because I couldn't sit still. And I was sometimes it was like, well, if I could just make it to juniors, I can get out this energy. So it was it was good. It taught me a lot of life lessons, and it just let me be a little free.
And what better way to get out that energy than to go tap dance, right? Do you see yourself pursuing a performing arts career? Is that something
um
you've been thinking about?
oddly enough, no, I've never thought of performing arts as a career. um it was more, a thing I like to do. um it was more about the people and less about how far I went in it. I just enjoyed being around the people, acting and portraying a nice scene and story for people. Um, Actually, in real life, I want to either be a chemical engineer or maybe a lawyer. So
Well,
there's a
fantastic.
yeah,
Well, you could do that during the day, and then at night you can be in a show.
yeah.
All right, Jonathan. Well, it's great to talk with you. Is there anything else we need to know about the cabaret on Friday night?
Um, there is, if you go to our Facebook page, the Junior Company Foundation, there's a couple of flyers. They have all the information. We're on Comcast. We're on, Net, we're not on Netflix, Instagram, uh, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Um, it's all there if you just go and check it out. We also have our Junior Company Foundation where there's an event. If you look under JCF Virtual Cabaret Friday Night Live, you have
And that's
all
on
the
the
descriptions.
on the website you're talking about, right?
Yes,
The junior website. Yeah, if you could get a deal with Netflix, that would be
I
big
know.
time.
That'd be awesome.
And there's also an opportunity to give money. This is usually a fundraiser. Of course, it's free because it's virtual. But how can people give money?
So we have a text to give, capital JCF, capital L, and then lowercase IVE. So JCF Live, and you text it to 44321.
And there's one other thing to tell you about. I'm actually giving away a prize to a reader of the Munro Review. Can you help me tell people about that, Jonathan?
Yes. So we are having a Zoom with Miranda Mayo. You get to choose a time, and if you win, you get to have a free Zoom with Miranda Mayo. And our lovely reviewer here, Donald Munro.
That's right. So it'll be the three of us. We'll have like a 15, 20-minute conversation. It's like a backstage visit, but because this is a virtual cabaret, we are going to do it virtually. Well, thanks again, Jonathan. I am looking forward to Friday night.
Thank you. Thank you again for your time.
You're very welcome.